Yeah, so just what I was saying there quickly, the screen share should back up. Cool. So just and I literally just hopped on. This is why I do love this, but again, because I have only just hopped on, I only did a $10 trade. All previous price action for, geez, even more than half an hour has all been respecting this EMA. The ones who don't know, EMA is this white line in between. We finally had, and I just turned on to this candle. No, this candle was being printed and clearly saw that we was the first one that broke through, closed above, and even had a rejection wick 1 and 2. So basically wicks to the downside for the last 2 prior. So that was enough for me to get in for I didn't go for a short one just because I wanted to just test the waters, just a 3-minute trade. And I got in basically as this was finishing up printing and got above because I basically got in just at this wick. And that one's printed and cleared because this is on a 5-minute. So I still think this will go based on how this closes. This is another thing, like I can sometimes go in again on this particular one when this goes away, seeing how this one finishes and does it print and keep above, which it may. Now I know it goes against all the other terminologies in the sense of we're already overbought across here with the crossover taking place and the RSI is falling. It is falling probably a little bit more heavy than what I'd like. So I've probably got enough in now, but I still will watch it because candle structure will always take place, but also Euro USD is obviously paying shit all at the moment. So we're not going to be getting on that. Right. Riley, welcome you, man. Thanks for being on, brother. I appreciate it. I know this is your first live call being on. So any questions, man, feel free to unmute yourself, mate, and ask away, but welcome, big fella.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna get you. I know I think you were training at Glass House, but I don't even know if that's going to go through anymore, mate. So hopefully get you back at the Blues this year.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, eh?
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a clusterfuck there at the moment across the board. All right. So actually just out of curiosity, Rolly, how's your trading been going, mate? I know I put you on the pump.
Been pretty lazy lately, to be honest with it, eh? Just kind of getting back into it now, but
that's what this is for.
Yeah, exactly. Had some wins, had some losses, but so it's just learning, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Just like I know, just watching because I like to see things going. We're not going to trade it because the percentage is shit house. But as you can see, this is why I don't like reliance on the indicators. I hate it because look, that showed to me all right now that was going to fall. Look how much that RSI is respected. That was almost on a 45 degree. And now it's bouncing back up, right? So for me, always preference and precedence will always go on the printing of the candle. So the fact that we can see that rejecting so much, personally, I'd like to get in for another one, but it's paying diddly squat. So I'm not going to get into it, but just like to show that don't have reliance on this chart pricing will always be the main game. All right. But anyway, just before we get into that, there's something else I want to touch on, but before I get into that as well, everyone want to share. I know you guys did relatively well last Monday. I appreciate you for all just sort of getting in and doing that. Anyone want to talk about how I guess the rest of their week went, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I'll go for sure. So, I started the week off just with the 100 US in the account, had a couple of wins on Monday, kept going Tuesday and Wednesday, had some good wins. Thursday, actually had a couple of good trades, boosted the account up from, I think, just under 900 up to about 1400.
Hey, boy.
Yeah, so I did hit that target, Dom. Like I was pretty happy, but I actually kind of wasn't really in my own head. I lost 2 in a row, which was fine. I got out. I just haven't traded since. But I went back down. Like I lost 2 decent sized trades. I'm back down to just under 600, which is fine. Still in profit for the week, but still took that on board. Lost 2 in a row, and just that was it. Shut the computer down, walked away, and enjoyed the weekend. And now I'm back now. So still in profit, but probably just need to work out my targets and try and stick to them, like we spoke about. Just having like some actual, set targets. But in all, first proper live week trading, and still had a good blast on it, and stuck to the strategy, and made some money, so it was good.
Good stuff. And that's one thing I had a chat with about who was I talking to? Joey. I was talking to Joey on here before on the weekend, and I just said to him, and it comes down to even myself as well. Once you first get the hang of it, you're sort of awesome, no worries, and you start dabbling around. You get a few wins, you get a few losses, and it's all well and good. But if you don't have a desired understanding of what it is you're trying to get out of your market, like, so how much are you trying to make today? Because it's no different to go in the gym. Yeah. Like when you go to the gym, generally, like for the ones that have, all right, these are my current PBs. These are my current working sets based on my current load. Awesome. So today I'm going to go in, I'm doing this. I'm aiming for 2%, 5% weight increase on each lift as I go if you're in a strength phase, in a gaining phase, right? For those guys who document, track, data, write it down, see them implementing those numbers through, they fucking stick to that regimen and stick to the schedule and see those improvements. I know when I'm in the gym and I'm actually like in comp mode and I'm looking at my numbers and I'm in a bulk phase and I record everything down, I get those consistent gains. Whereas if I'm just going airy-fairy through the motion, just going in there for a workout, yeah, no worries, you get it done, but it's not really just like what you're entitled, and you know the difference between either there or there. So that's why when it comes to trading, I really have the strong emphasis on knowing what it is that you actually want. And that comes in all business and investment in general. So one thing I wanted to share with you all before we sort of get into the actual trading, I'm just logging into I was a little bit behind, sorry guys, I'm just logging into the back office, is I want to share with you this in the background. Oh, here she is, awesome. Chance. What was this called? Wait, I might just go on my Has anyone ever heard of the Certainty app? I don't know if Kenny, you might have heard of that before.
What was it called?
The Certainty app.
The certain. Nah. Sorry, I haven't heard that one.
Yes.
Fuck, there's too many apps going around. There's always fucking more.
Okay, it's not actually like an app, but there's literally, I don't know why they call it that. It's just a website. So it's just one that you do have to like put your create an account with the username and email. Tony, welcome, love. But with this, I'll just share you so then you know. I'll just bring it up in the background. How do I go to share? All right, so here it is here. There's something I was showing with Joey over the weekend and just chatting about it. I think it's really important. Now, this is for any kind of business and investment to have an actual strategy and be able to work backwards and to be able to understand what it is you're trying to get from the market. Now, I know, again, it's a bit more extreme. I use this more for overall investment in my crypto, but, you know, this is directly related to that because I know if I want to get, and just to keep it, because where we were, I'll just keep it at that. If I want to get $5 million within 5 years, right? And making I know what my initial investment was. This is just using an example. I've dropped 10, not 5. So it's a little bit different, but I was just going off more realistic numbers for people, but looking at getting 5 mil, initial investment, 5 grand, and then additional monthly investments. That was on the lower end. I personally put in a little bit more than this, but this is just, again, being a bit more realistic for the everyday person. All right. This is what I need to be looking at getting, annual percentage wise or monthly percentage wise. And obviously there's a tax rate there just to work out roughly how much back on tax. Now this shows to me that, all right, no worries. So I need to be getting 11% growth monthly on my account this is obviously going back to my crypto portfolio. So my aiming is, so then I know that when I'm sitting down and I'm going to go do a day of trading, right? Because obviously a vast majority, let's say about 80% of my profits from my day of trading will get sent back into my crypto portfolio. And then I invest that back into all the different things that I'm doing there. And it's adding into this, right? So then I know essentially if I continue to get a minimum of 5, I need to just get 11% growth per month. And I just work out what that is in a dollar format, which again, just working backwards with that. So important, long story short, I just know every time that I sit down, I keep $100 float pretty much always on my pocket options, right? And then I usually aim to build that between like depending on what's happened that month, how much of my money have I put in already, how much my success has been prior, you know, for that month, etc. But generally per day, I'm looking between 500 to 600. So I essentially 5x that money, that $100, turn it into 500-600, and then I literally take off that 500-600 straight away and put that back into here, into my yield bearing stuff that I've got, my autopilot stuff, which is really, really cool actually. And personally, like I don't want to turn this into a crypto thing, but, and like, I'm not affiliated to any of this shit as well. So make sure, like, just so you know, there's no like bonuses or any of that stuff involved. But this Night Finance, when it comes to crypto, for those that are involved in it, I've literally got all my money out of so many different cryptos and just piloted into this. Basically, it's liquidity pool farming, yield farming, staking, all that kind of stuff. And I've already just did a farm, but as you can see here, I know it's only a little bit, but I've got 47 cents. Basically, I make probably around about $30 to $40 per day in this at the moment. Every 2 days, I do a harvest it, I put it back in, it generates me more liquidity, more yield farming, and then continue to move. So it's like literally making me money as I sit here, that'll continue to count up. And there's also raids within the pool as well. So essentially I can send some of these tokens into particular pools, and it mines it for me. So this has been 1 day, right? And this is around about $8 to $10 based on its current pricings. And then I've got some more over here in BUSD, things like that. And I'm not having to touch it. It's just continued to tick over. So you watch this sitting at, 358, that'll move again in a moment, 374. It's just keep working. And I'm not doing anything except paying the little fees for transacting. So really cool. So that's where I'm putting my money with that at the moment, just so you're aware. So bringing it back to the whole premise of what I was trying to say is making sure we know what we want to get out of the market, have that desired outcome, write it down on a piece of paper, or like have it in the forefront of your mind. If you've got a whiteboard above you, have it there just so we can just get straight into it and know what you're trying to do and not just guess and like hope and shit sticks against the wall when it comes to trading. Just only because I still have the Euro USD open in front of me. Is that showing the pocket options? Just the Euro guys? No. Yes, no. I don't know what screen I'm sharing at the moment. No, I'm still sharing night swap.
It's night swap, man.
Yeah, sweet, thanks, mate. I'll switch that back over. Still respecting. So interesting because like we've got that crossover. Yes, I guess it's overall it's still trending down, and I think eventually we will get an absolute a fall away like that. But even if you had again gotten back in on a buy off this because it respected so much, you would have cleared off these trades as well. But anyway, try to look for our normal setups. So if anyone's seen anything right now while I've been gibbering away, feel free to just let me know. Oh, interesting. That's just not paying very highly though, but I'm just going to keep it there just to see. Someone should have said, hey, check out GPP CAD. That would have been awesome. Yeah, that one's cool. Not your traditional setup with 2 weeks to the downside. I've got, just so you know, it's on the screen next to me. I've got opened up, I am just on 2 separate pages. Hang on, I'm just trying to get rid of all my other stuff. I've got too much going on here at once. Is there anyone else see anything that we need to look at? Obviously, it just ticked over 6. So you got a lot of, like 6 being Melbourne time, a lot of liquidity has moved to close those hourly gaps. And we've got the open of, what time zone are we still in at the moment?
Hey, has anyone noticed with Liberty? It's my first time for the week being on the computer, but the FXCM exchanges aren't there. It's just
No, I
like,
haven't noticed that.
I'm just having a look now, like putting in, typing in, and it's just saying like, yeah, all exchanges only giving up Oanda, Overtrade, and Bitfinex. Does that happen to anybody else, or obviously use
Yeah,
FXCM?
mate. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. So does anyone know which is the more accurate of those, like Oanda or?
Just got to
Any
see.
insight
I have used the Wanda before, but just need to see based on just look at the price. Like, so see, is it matching up? Is they correlating? Because some will have completely different prices. Will show you different prices. Don't like. So just seeing what we can sort of see here. I'll go back and just double check mine as well. Like this is why the 2 weeks prior here is a little bit misleading. It's why I won't rush into things. So that was that CAD JPY. I mean, GPP CAD, that was a full candle that's now literally pulled right back up to there. Some shitty price action coming off the back of this. And now we're seeing, even though everything was pointing down, now we're going back out. So there's a really cool fake out. But that's why, like, yeah, it wasn't really an engulfing candle. So it sort of seemed exciting with the runoff. And you could have pinched it with like a little 2-3 minute trade in between of that candle, but not a huge fan of what's that presenting it now. So that's why I don't like to rush into these things. I'm just going to look at it as well. That's what you were talking about, mate, with the Liberty at my end.
Hey, Dom, with that GBP CAD, just something else to look at. Like, if you go to 15-minute, it's possibly going for a new high, because if you look at where the last low was to the new high, that's a 50% retracement if you look at institutional concepts. So it's probably pushing up because it's going for a new high. And it's all signs are pointing that way at the moment. So I don't know if that helps or not.
No, it's important. I think, and I know I've spoken about that before, but for the ones who are unaware, I have on Liberty, I have the 15-minute rocked up. So essentially, pocket options I'll have on one time frame, and then on Liberty I'll have a different time frame. So then I don't have to flick between the two, and I'll just have the 2 screens already loaded. So then I can easily transfer my eyes between the two. And I'm in the process of bringing that up because it was a bit staticky at my end. And so basically, if I just to show you, so you're aware now, all right, I'll bring this back up. So you're aware now of this. So looking at back at GBV what Kenny was mentioning. So this is the time frame, flicking that over to the 15. You can see, well, we've only just touched the Bollinger Band, which does indicate, yeah, that as Kenny was saying, we've still got a little bit of room. We do have all these equal highs. So I actually think, you know, a sell-off from taking this liquidity here, and we're almost at that area, would be a better trade for a sell-off. And we can see that these are still trending up, and there's still a pretty big gap between the two lines. So we're not at that point yet for a sell away. And I want to see basically a sell coming off around about that 1.704. So if we're going back to the 5 minute, yeah, we can sort of see, which is essentially all these highs here, which I hadn't zoomed out to the cross yet. We've got two equal highs here with liquidity again at 1.704 with a little bit just again to the upside over here as well behind those words. So one, I'd be sitting on my hands for and just waiting for that opportunity to present. Anyone else seeing anything? I'm just looking at the my Liberty's just gone a little bit spinny for some reason. Hang on.
All acting up tonight.
Yeah, I just because I'm obviously not at my house, I was just my partner's internet isn't as great. So I'm seeing Awanda. Yeah, you're right. No, we're saying all exchanges. Yeah, they've actually gotten rid of that. I wonder why. All right, Awanda I know I've used before and is still a usable one. Let me just double check the price.
Overtrade's just sitting just off compared to pocket options.
Say that again, mate.
Overtrade is sitting like just off price compared to pocket options, not by much.
So Awanda's got us at 1.7038 and 1.7038. Yeah, it's the same spot. So Awanda's a little bit more accurate with that. So that's where I'd be looking at having those loaded on your. And for those who not know, because I've got it on another screen. So I'll just quickly share it so that you guys can see it. This seems to work a little bit better if I put them on separate screens when it comes to trying to navigate. So this is in your back office in IM. So when you log into IM, instead of going to your academies where you're learning, click strategies, which is underneath. So log in first, IM Center, strategies, click Liberty. This will load. When you load it, click, there's a couple to choose from. You got the Simple Scalper 2.0 or the top one, the Simple Scalper. The Simple Scalper essentially just loads your stochastic and your RSI. So I like this one because it has a little bit more, but it's a little bit more complex. They've now added in, I've noticed, downswing and upswing as a new terminologies. Anyway, select that, and then from there you can just type in your time, your pairing, and make sure you're choosing Awanda as your new broker. And again, like I said, I'll tend to have this on the 15-minute, and I like this one better because it's a lot more user friendly to when it's behaving itself, obviously, where to draw on for lines. So. We're not looking at, am I looking at the right one? Oh, because I've gone to the 15-minute. Yeah, so that's that 1.704. So this is where I'm looking for that sell. So just clicking on here, and horizontal ray just shoots a line across, boom, bang. I can make that a little bit thicker if I need to, zoom. And then we can see that that's essentially where I'm looking for a sell. You know, and I often ask the question, and I'm sure some of you guys would as well when you've shown some people this is, okay, if you know that's going to go up to there, why don't you just buy it? Well, it's just, again, we're trying to minimize risk. We don't know how long it's going to take to get up there. So we could go in for a buy and it could just generate a bit more liquidity with a little bit of a downtrend, right? Because there is a little bit of imbalance here. It could just total down a little bit to then continue its upward move. We don't know, but I will see a reaction from this. And when we get to this area, once we see what that reaction presents, you know, it'll indicate more of whether it's going to go down or continue its upward move. But this is a very clear area with our institutional area. It was an engulfing, the last up before the down. That red candle is a lot bigger than that previous blue. Well, not a lot, but a little bit. So it's engulfing, equal highs to the top. Whereas here's a bit more traded through with pretty crap candles. So this is where a reaction will need to take place. And based on what we had here, yes, this has come up. This week has come up to around the 50%. So it's something that we can look at, and I'm still watching because we may get the reaction that we want from here, because this could simply be just creating, this could be just a mitigation play to continue its downward move. So I'm just going to keep my eye on it. What's it doing on the 5 minute? It has gone down, hasn't it? while I'm talking, this is why I can't teach and educate. I don't know how the traders do it. Other traders do it, educate and then try to trade at the same time. I can see why most of the guys on smart money don't actually do live trades. They do their own trading, their own time, and just talk it back the next day or the next time slot. All right. Anyway, let's have a bit of a squeeze. I'm going to bring some more pairs up because they've changed a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of trading CHF, but I'll just put it on there just to see what it's doing. All the CHF pairs tend to be a little bit shit. Oh, it's a bit different. Sorry for my things. A bit crap. I'm just going to turn my video off. Sometimes that works a little bit. Still like to do one more warm-up trade before I'll tend to increase my lot size just to make sure my entries and everything, I'm seeing the market right. So I only do another little sort of $10 trade. Everything's in that general area, presenting potential. Just don't like where it's. Yeah, so that's got, this is why, again, I'll just give this as a quick demo. So here on the 5 minute, we can see we're sort of in that area. It hasn't quite obviously pierced the Bollinger Band. So like, it's not something I'd be in, but just say, for example, that it had pierced and this was starting to trickle down, all my indicators here, right? This is where the 15 minute has some extra confluence. Okay, let's check the 15 and we can see we're nowhere near the top of the Bollinger Band. We're just sitting there in the middle, right? So this is not one that I'd like to trade unless it was respecting underneath this EMA. If we would like had this kind of setup and clearly had a wick to the upside and closed below, well, I'd actually have enough confluence down, right? So therefore on the 5 minute, we actually are going to get a reversal, even though it doesn't line up with our Bollinger Band setups. Doesn't matter because the high time frame always has precedence on what's happening. Okay.
Is everyone else just seeing Liberty?
Sorry. Yeah, that's why I need you guys to unmute yourself if that kind of shit happens.
Yeah, so it's just, you've just, it looks like it's frozen. Oh, there's your click cursor. It's back to pocket options now.
Wait, sorry, guys. Thanks, mate. As I was saying here, so on the 5 minute right now, before that was printing, it had this one here. We were heading up towards the Bollinger Band. Everything was starting to point down. This is indicating as a possibility to start watching, right? But then we go to the 15 minute. I'm just doing it now quickly to just be able to show you. I'd have this 15 already open up on Liberty. We're nowhere near it. We still have more room to grow, so I'm not going to go near it. My only counter argument to that is if we had this kind of setup here, say for example, where we rejected heavily off the EMA on the 15 minute, this would show that we're respecting the EMA and we're going to look to come down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So that would give me enough confluence. It's a bit more riskier. Well, I don't know why it's just moved sideways to get in on a sell here, right? So that's something to take in consideration if you are looking between the two different time frames. All right, GBP, JPY. And again, like I said, if you guys see something, because I'm only just going through what I'm going through. GBP, JPY. Something I've been looking at as well is not also just trading the reversals, is trading with the momentum of the market. So like what we can see here on, I've just flicked over to, yeah, massive downtrend, trending down hugely on the 15 minute on Euro JPY. Sorry, what was I saying? GBP, JPY, right? Just making sure I'm still sharing that screen. Yes, I am. I might just go screens and then it flicks over when I do. So here, right, we can see we're in a downtrend. There's a little bit of imbalance to the upside. So I'd like to see that just sort of be filled, which it was. We are still heavily sold, oversold, still trending downwards. What are we doing on the 15 minute? So when I flick through the 15, we can see that there is still heavy momentum. There's no gray being printed in this, which means just areas of consolidation in a downward swing. We're well truly red still. Yes, this is one gray bar is printed, but it hasn't been consistent. It's still as much volume as the one prior. So it's not like this kind of gray happening where we can see it's starting to ease up. And because it's not consistent with red, gray, red, shows that it's still trending down. So something that I've been doing as well is instead of like just taking out the risk a little bit more, whoops, wrong one, is trading with the trend. So actually looking at the right moment. So we should see a little bit of a bounce up, increasing my time frame. So this is actually be a longer time frame trade because of the way I'm looking at the 15 to have respect of that and actually doing a sell-off on this one. Hope that makes sense. Because again, we can see for quite some time, we respected the EMA quite significantly. We're still trending down, right? 15 minute, a high time frame always has precedence. You can have a look on this on the 15 too, if we need to show the same kind of confluences. Oop, hang on. Oh, hang on. I don't know why Kiri's trying to get into that. That one, I don't want to let you in. One of my boot fitness people are trying to get into the call. No, you're not. That shows a little bit differently actually on that compared to the to Liberty. So it's a little bit different. But we came down, took all those lows as well. Actually, sorry, now that I look at, didn't even take my own advice, looking left to get it right. You can see that wick, which is quite a huge wick, has actually come and taken these 3 previous lows. And because that wick's just getting bigger and bigger, I'm actually looking at it now as a buy. Sorry to change my my impetus straight away there on that. And this would go back to the original time, what I had. All right, just flicking around. What we got? NZD CAD. Big breakaway there. Come up, take. Where was the one we were looking at before? GBV CAD. Is that gone? Just to double check. We still know we need that area. I don't really like it, so I don't really want to go near it just yet. And obviously Euro CAD, GBV CAD, similar pairings, price action. It's so staticky. What I'm gonna do is just for the rest of this, and then I'll stop recording because it's just, I'm pressing one. It's taking a good 5 seconds to flick between the charts. And I'm sure my audio is not very good with you guys.
Audio
Can you hear me
sweet.
well?
The actual screens are lagging.
Audio's fine, mate.
Yeah, screen lag as per.
Awesome. Awesome. Apologies, team.
Might be a router upgrade, Dom.
It's like, because I don't have the issue, mate. I think it's more, it's whenever I try to
Good
share
to
screen.
speak to you again too, by the way.
Fucking Griffo.
Oh, sorry, Griff. I thought that was Riley. Riley. Good to see you.
I knew Paulie would pick up on it.
I did no, because I let you in. I was meant to say hello, but I was meant chatting away around a bloody trade. So, mate, good to have you back, big dog. Good to also get photos and selfies of you and your pup. He loves a good selfie with his pup.
Did I send you? Oh, I should. Hang on, did I send you one that Amy sent me yesterday? Yesterday, didn't I? With the sunglasses and that.
No, that was a couple of days ago. Yesterday, with the bike ride. I get
No,
the most-
that was today. Bike ride was
like a
today.
dad that just sends me these random selfies and videos.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll send it to you too, Paulie. You'll get a laugh
Yeah, don't leave me out.
later.
Always.
Something presenting here, so we can see essentially with a big doji candle happening at the bottom, possible reversal when we see these doji candles presenting. I just want to zoom out. It's hard because I don't have, of course, I don't have any bloody mouse. It's not really showing very well on that. So I'm just going to bring that up on GBP CHF. Oops, let me do that one over. I can't put you there, and I can't put you. Where's the best spot to put you? Is where I put your faces, where it's not in the way of my screen. What I'm looking at, GBP CHF. Again, I'm not a huge fan of trading it, but if I see an opportunity present, I'm going to look at it. GBP. Maybe that's why the charts have been so annoying with, and they've gotten rid of it. Wherever that FXCM one is.
That was the one I always used. It was
Yeah,
really
it's the one I always used too, because it's always like we were told in smart money as well to always use that. But
yeah.
and it was always lagging, and it would make sense why, because this has been, Awanda's been good. The transaction difference flips around. Hasn't been stupid like the other ones were. All right, so am I looking at, yep, sweet. And the 5 minute. Let me just put this to the 15 to sort of see. Well, we can see here we've reacted. Oh, it's so close to the opening. So close to this opening of the 15, which is a very obvious institutional candle here. For those who don't know, against the last down before the up move that broke structure and took liquidity, which it did, although that's and that's what you call institutional manipulation. Look at that. That is ridiculous. Imagine if you got in for a quick sell on that and you saw the top of it. Anyway, that's smart money way anyway. So yeah, we were obviously coming back to remitigate. We're filling out of this institution imbalance, as well as mitigating out of this IC area. So this is where I'd personally like, and for those who have done smart money, you can see how I'm still using smart money concepts. Yes, this way of making money is a little bit faster, but I know that here is going to be a reactional point, and I do still believe that we are going to trade higher because we are trending now. We're now bullish instead of bearish. Well, to be fair, yeah, we're bearish out of this. So clearly, and that prior as well, we got distribution, redistribution. So that's come back down. We've had a little bit of sideways action to accumulate again, reaccumulation to then distribute back upwards. And that's going to be really cool to see that take place. That's on that one. But let me just double check how much time's left on that one. 15 seconds. So that one's going to clear more likely. Come back to it. Yeah, so we cleared. So I know initially I said that was going to be a sell, but I've talked myself out of it based on.
I just did the same trade. I twinned it and got 2 in there on that same run.
Yeah, sweet, man. Awesome. That's what I want these calls to be. I don't want you just to. Is anyone's friend Clinton? Is there a Clinton? Does anyone know a Clinton?
No.
I swear people just like my things randomly now. My calls. I'll be running boot camp.
Clinton's my upline, Dom.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I just wasn't sure. I'll add him in there. No problem.
Yeah, I traded that on the 3. So a couple more candles in it.
Yep, sweet. And that's again what I love about this method. There's no, I guess, right or wrong. If you want to go down a little bit lower time frames, I know initially when I was first coming out, I was looking at, looking at doing the 1 minute. It was just a bit too volatile, a bit too crazy. I like this is slower. This is essentially, I normally trade a little bit early in this, but I like this time frame because it is a bit slower and moves can just take place. So just to sort of backtrack for the replayers that watch this recording later, initially, yeah, everything was trending down. I did think that we were going to go for a sell to keep going with the trade, with the trend. And on that was, what was it? On 15, and then I'm going to stop the recording, guys, and we'll continue on.
Hey, Dom.
JPY, talk to me.
Have a quick chat about RSI Divergence if you want, mate.
Yeah, mate. I'll just finish this, and then you can take over, mate. So essentially, using our smart money concepts, purely what I saw whilst this candle. So initially, I'm looking at a buy because when I looked at this candle was full. We were almost down here. And I'm thinking if it closes, we're going to continue to trend down. But this massive wick shows a reversal. So essentially price is exhausting. We took all these previous lows that were here as well. And I'm liking this for a buy now. And we've just come in and scalped that bad boy from here. So that's why we got that one cleared. All right. Actually, I'm happy for you to chat about it, mate, because I'll keep it on the recording. And then the back end of trading, guys, I'll just trade. If you just want to talk, mate, go for it.
Too easy, man. All right. So on the pocket option, I've got Euro CHF up.
Do you want me to make you host and share your screen?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah, sure.
That might be easier. So then you can make hosts. Yes. Hopefully the recording continues. Yeah, it does. Sweet. All right, all yours, mate.
All good. Rightio. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, because it only just stopped me sharing.
Rightio. Share screen.
You can see your pretty face all blown up.
Yeah.
Can you see me now?
You can't see me.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, you can see my screen?
Yes, mate.
Too easy. All right. So Euro CHF on the 5 and then Euro CHF on the 3. Just been doing some testing on RSI divergence. And just real quickly, I'm sure you guys know, basically you've got a low here, and then you've got a lower low here on the 5. But the RSI is actually showing the low corresponding here, but then a higher low here. And that to me, on the little bit of testing that I've been doing, is just showing a bit of a reversal in the trend. And I just took the trade basically on this candle here and basically just won that last trade. So we've just got trades coming up. This is the move it here. So you can see I just picked off that last one. They're basically using the that divergence there, and it's exactly the same on the 3 as well. We'll just move that out of the way. So we had the low here presented by this low here, and then as we came down and took a lower low here, the RSI was actually a higher low here, and then we had that reversal in the trend here. So it's probably up to about 80–85% that's actually working, which I think is pretty good. And then yeah, so the last 10 or 12 trades that I've done actually using that RSI divergence, yeah, I think I've come off with about 8 out of 10. So that's been pretty good. So, and that works on any time frame as well. So we're just looking for the low to correspond with the RSI low, a lower low presented, but a higher low presented on the RSI. And then that corresponds with the reversal there.
Yeah, right. Interesting. You can actually get, I can't remember what indicator it is that will actually show you a divergence where you'll have two different lines going at once. That's actually, that's, I've never heard RSI divergence called like that. So that's really fascinating to see that.
Mhm.
Why are you putting the screen now? Because I haven't done it for me either. Do you just want to show how you do that split screen? Because that's also handy for people that
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. So, oh, it's gone. There used to be a little four squares here.
Let's see if I have it on mine. This is, yeah. Does everyone else have the squares?
Have you
Yeah,
got 4
No,
squares?
it's because you already have it. Yeah. So if you guys, if you look just at your top of your chart where you've got your price, the whatever pairing is, GPV, JPY, then you've got your candle time, your indicators, a brush, 3 dots, and then you've got your 4 squares, which looks like play school.
Over here.
Up the side pocket option up the top there, Dom.
Yeah.
If you look at my screen where the arrow is, we've got the pairs here, and then we've got the candles and all the rest of it here. Once you click that button there, on your screen, there should be another one of these here that's got 4 squares. If you
Hey,
click,
Dom, look up the side pocket option there. You got the 4 dots. So if you press that on your screen, you'll bring all your screens back down.
yep, there you go. So now you can have charts,
Oh, wow.
2 next to
There we
each other.
go.
On the right-hand side, I'll have 3 minutes. On the left-hand side, I'll have 5. And then on my monitor, I'll have flick between 5 and 3. That's really handy. And the RSI I've got here set at 6, and I haven't changed any settings
That's
with.
well handy.
It's handy, isn't it?
Are you Northern, Dom?
Yeah, from York, yeah.
As in Mank?
Well, from Yorkshire, which is the next county over, yeah.
Yeah. Can't half tell that accent.
That kind of said, almost said.
No. Mrs. is Middleton.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
From York, I spent a lot of time in London before moving here, so it's a bit all over the shop.
Right, I'm just going to stop the recording so that way I can hopefully just trace a little bit better. Yeah, so actually, Griff, I answer this one. I've got, well, not here. This guy's got a terrible internet thing as well, but at home I've got full speed. I've paid upgrade, got the best router, and it still doesn't like it. Trying to do all of it on one. I think it's my actual computer itself just hasn't
You haven't got enough
parts on
RAM.
all the systems at once.
Yeah, mate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's
When I
that
put it-
RSI divergence that works on I would assume on any time frame, because I've had it on the 3 minute and the 5 minute, and